Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be doing some L4 missions in a Golem fit. This is what I would call a anti-gank Golem fit. And what I mean by anti-gank is that it is a bit more difficult to gank this than say more typical Golem fits. Nothing really in EVE Online is purely or truly anti-gank. There's always going to be a big enough gank fleet out there to be able to kill you. But the focus of this fit right here is to be able to make it less likely for people to be able to successfully gank you. So this is a bit different from typical Golem fits because Golems focus mainly on their active tank. But here we're going with a bit of a hybrid tank actually. So we're going to focus on giving a big buffer so that we could potentially survive these ganks actually. So how it works here is that basically we are basing this off a medium shield booster. And a medium shield booster might sound very stupid on a battleship, but the medium shield booster, the Pithum C-type, is very cap efficient, and we're actually, just with the help of one cap battery, able to run this cap stable. So with the Bastion mode active, we have 149 HP per second with some really boss resists as well. So this is some decent like HP per second. And then on top of that, look at this amount of HP we've got right here. Crazy buffer, 223k HP buffer. Obviously you could have more on, I don't know, say a rattlesnake with a pure passive tank, but you have to also remember we're going with like a hybrid tank right here. Like we could obviously, if we wanted to, perhaps put like another shield extender here, ditch the cap battery maybe here, and then put another one here, 300k, but then we wouldn't have the good recharge as we would have with the shield booster. But here at least we'll be able to keep ourselves at max HP all the time with our shield booster right here. So I think that's a good balance, because at least here we get the good recharge, but at the same time we also have a good total buffer. And the thing is, in the L formations, even though maybe this shield boost doesn't look like a lot with 149 HP per second, it's still, I would say, good enough with these resists right here, especially when you take into consideration our total amount of HP. We have to really mess up to even come close to low shield levels in the L formations. We're going cruise missile fit here. I was thinking of putting torpedoes, but I wanted to just do this so that I could have like a golem that would just be able to shoot anything anywhere. I think generally speaking the torpedoes will be more effective in the Alpha missions, but I wanted to give it a go with having a ship that has missiles that can be used to just hit anything anywhere in the whole entire Alpha mission without having to move much. Because of my constricted like mid slots, I would have liked to put an MJD. In fact, I probably could have if I were to say swap out this MWD right here, but I think the MWD will be a bit better when it comes to doing the Alpha missions a bit quickly, or a bit like quicker, because like, sometimes you want to move place to place. If you move without an MWD, like let me look at the speed right here. If we go, wait, turn off Bastion, right? 125 meters a second. I mean, it's going to take forever. Just a gate that's a few kilometers away will take me a good couple of minutes to go to. So that's why I prefer to have an MWD. Ideally, I would like to have an MWD and an MJD, but we don't have here. In a future video, I'll probably try a large micro jump drive because I have got one in my cargo. We can go here and just put it in the item hanger right here. But I think that we could even try doing some slightly different fits here. Another type of strategy for being a bit of an anti-gank golem would be to put a cloaking device here. And the reason is because a lot of the people, not always, but a lot of the people who get killed who are running alpha missions to ganks are people who get caught on gates, because like it would often happen, I've even seen this myself, that like there's a fleet of catalysts on a gate because they know maybe a marauder is going to come through, and then they just pop him when he's going to align to the next gate. So that's why a cloaking device would be very useful, because if we have an MWD, we would be able to do the MWD cloak trick to pretty much like, you know, almost be untargetable for like a short amount of time, so we can just warp out safely. Now obviously, if you were to have like a big spam of drones or just collide with one of the catalysts, it'll uncloak you and completely mess it up, but it's very unlikely. So what we could in fact do is even put a cloaking device here. We can go put the Caldari Navy one, because the thing is, the bad thing about cloaking devices is that they make our scan resolution very low, and this is quite problematic because in the air formations it's nice to be able to lock up stuff in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, we're going to be nerfing our scan resolution by quite a big degree by having this on right here, and we're just going to be taking quite a long time to lock up stuff. But I'm not sure if this is going to really feel that bad. I've never actually personally tried this, so I think in the future I'm going to try this with a cloaking device, because if you're able to have a cloaking device and like not being too much of an issue when it comes to the lock speed, then it'll be a very good thing to have as an anti-gank measure, because it'll be a lot safer being able to do the MWD cloak trick when you're going from gate to gate. So a Caldari Navy cloaking device is probably what I would want to have. You could, if you want, to go hardcore with the Concord one, but that gives you a bit better scan resolution, but it's just way too expensive in my opinion. So we're just going with, I would like, if I were to go one, I'll go with the Caldari Navy one, because it's a bit better than the improved cloaking device 2, which gives me 105 scan resolution right here. But either way, enough yapping about my fit. It's time to go and enter the L4 mission. And what I found that was quite good, or I think that will be good for specifically the ship we're using right here, is the Golem Berserk mission, because this has enemies that are existing quite like big distances from each other. So that's why the cruise missiles will be pretty good, because we will be able to, like, you know, shoot out far and hit them all the time. So we're going to go here and go to the Golem Berserk mission. This is a quite good mission as well, just for general, like, you know, pure aggressiveness, or just pure bombardment, really, because all you have to do is just destroy the NPCs and that's it. And that's what the Golem and Marauders in general are really good at. They're not particularly like fast. They can be quite mobile with their MJD, but they really have a good strength in just face tanking a bunch of stuff and killing a bunch of stuff with their high DPS and high tank. So that's what we're going to be doing right here. We're just going to go straight in, and I'm just curious to see how the tank feels. I'm going to try to first off use this tank without using the shield booster, and then I'm going to put the shield booster on. We are cap sail with the shield booster on and the MWD off, so I'm going to just see how it feels, because I've never actually tried this out before with the Hybrid Golem. This is the first time I'm ever using this. So I'm going to probably move here a little bit maybe, so that we can go and just like be sort of in the middle of this area right here, and then we will just go and cruise missile these guys to pieces. So these guys have got big shields. Actually, they're not typical Amarian cruisers. They're EOMs. They're shields, actually, is their biggest HP. And it seems like the battleships is the lowest is kinetic, the cruise is the lowest is EM, but we're going to go with the kinetic missiles. I think that'll be better for this situation right here. All right, we'll go here, Bastion up, and get to work. I'm using one target painter here. It would have been nice to have 2 target painters or some other kind of application modules, but unfortunately I don't have the mid slots to spare for this. But it seems to be pretty decent. I mean, we one-shotted that ship's shield, so pretty good. I mean, 2-shotted almost. We don't even need to shoot another one right there. And keep going with this guy here, and shoot away. Seems like it's going pretty quickly here with the Golem. The cruise missiles making quick work of these ships right here. And you see here, we're rocking the Golem police skin. This is a really epic skin that was gifted to me by a guy called Threadnought, a good friend of mine who we've done quite a bit of stuff together in EVE Online. I really appreciate that he gifted me this skin, a really cool skin. It just makes me look like I'm in a police golem going out there to serve Caldari justice to the pirates of New Eden by just destroying them, taking them down, and not letting them commit all these crimes they do in New Eden. The EOM guys in particular are known for doing a lot of terrorist attacks. They focus a lot on death. So the Caldari police here is here to save the day. So thanks a lot to Threadnought for gifting me this skin. Really appreciate it a lot. We're also in fact using the high-grade Nirvana implants. And these Nirvana implants, they make us have a lot bigger shield buffer. So we'll just have like a very big shield buffer compared to usual. We see 220k HP right here without the Nirvanas. I think we have like 170k or something even less. So we get quite a big buffer to our shields right here. Makes us less gankable, but also tank more as well. And it's quite fun how our shields are barely moving at all, and we're not even using the shield booster. So let's just see how fast the shield booster boosts. I mean, it's going to boost very slow because it's obviously a medium shield booster, but still. It does get good bonuses from the Golem. The Golem does have bonuses to its shield boosting capabilities, so we'll be boosting by quite a bit anyway. Not really any point to keep it on, really. We'll just keep blasting away at these NPCs right here. Oh, you see they try to flank me here with the IUM Hydra right here. It feels quite good, actually, to be able to just hit out anything here, even though we're doing less DPS. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the cruise missiles, they have worse applicability compared to the torpedoes. I'm not sure. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But either way, it feels like we have decent applicability to the cruise right here, because our target painters are boosted up. Like, they're amped up, really properly amped up right here. Like, the Golem gets the bonuses to its target painters. So it feels like even with the Fury that we've got right here, we're still applying pretty decently to these cruisers. Like, you see almost just a few shots, and they like one-shot the shields. and they go down very quickly. Obviously, we're not getting full application because then it would properly one-shot this thing, but still, it's decent application right there. And this is now a real test of application, the frigates right here. So we'll lock these guys up. And actually, we'll use the auto-targeting system. And something I was actually thinking is that if we use an auto-targeting system with the cloaking device, because remember how I was mentioning before, a cloaking device can be good, like anti-gank kind of measures. The cloaking device could then, you know, make us have very low, like a slow lock speed. But the thing is, if we have an auto-targeting system, it'll just auto-target anything that's hitting us. So then perhaps that could be something to sort of compensate for it. Because now we're just using our auto-targeting system. It's going to like lock up stuff that is red boxing us. So it'll be good for that. We won't have to really think much about the slow lock speed. I don't know if the cloaking device, I mean the auto-targeting system is slower with a scan resolution. I'm actually not too acquainted with the lock mechanics, but I do think that it will at least help make the locking stuff go quicker, like even automatically lock stuff up without us even having to press anything. So that would be a good thing to have if we were to go with the cloaking device right here. We can go in the local, actually. That would be a good thing to have up just in case, because, you know, obviously we don't want to have people who are going to wreck us in local. You can see here, EOM Saboteur, he's got the smallest amount in EM, so it'll be good to use our Acolytes, actually. We can just shoot the battleships with our missiles, activate the shield booster, just keep that on. And I'll actually go for this frigate right here, because I'm quite curious how the application is with Fury. Because the Fury is going to be the worst application type, so this is sort of a worst case scenario for application, and as you can see here, it wasn't that great, we hardly got anything. Let's see how it is with the... I don't think I have Caldari Navy Scourge, actually. I didn't pack any. We'll go with the Caldari Navy Mjolnir instead. No, I'll go for the... Okay, don't want to have the drones interfere now with our test right here. There's someone here who is orange. No, it's just because he's an initiative. Okay, so we've got the Caldari Navy Mjolnir. Let's see how that was. Okay, 375 volley we got right there. We saw his shields went down. I mean, obviously, it's not that fast considering how little HP a frigate has, but still, we're able to apply it pretty decently. Alright, we'll have our... It's just best that we have our drones take care of this. And we will continue here. What is the resist profile of these guys? It's also kinetic. So Scourge Fury, cruise missile. Do we have... How many Scourge Furies do we have? Yeah. I forgot to put the Caldari Navy Scourge Fury. That was a bit unfortunate, but it's not too bad, to be honest, because even to cruisers and battleships, it feels like we have very good application. The only thing really is the bad application are the frigates. But then again, it just seems overall more time efficient to focus our drones on that instead of using our missiles on this. Just a bit of a waste of ammo, to be honest. There are a lot of wrecks here. You could probably scoop them in, actually. You see here large wrecks, perhaps. The large wrecks are the ones that are going to be containing some good loot. So we'll just shoot away with our cruise missiles, tractor in the stuff here. I don't want to put an MTU because if people are wanting to gank us, it's a very good idea not to use an MTU because then people can scan you down. There's when it comes to scanning, combat scanning, like combat probes, it's very easy to scan down a mobile tractor unit, but it is not easy to scan down marauders. They have like very hard time pinpointing them, so it could be a good idea if you want to avoid getting scanned down, interfered, trolled, or ganked by other people. Don't use an MTU because it'll make it easier for the enemies to scan you down. Anything here? Ooh, 1 million, just like that. Grab this. Where's the EOM Death Lord? I think this guy is the boss or something. Yeah, and you see that we automatically locked him up because of the auto-targeting system. So that was really cool right there. Didn't even have to press anything, just locked him up. And also a good thing about auto-targeting systems is you get some extra amount of locked targets. Oh, he died really quickly right there. Let's see now. What is our max lock target? 13 max lock targets. Without this, we also have 13. So that's a bit unfortunate because the thing is, the Bastion module has a thing where it increases the amount of lock targets. So you'll see here, actually, wait, if we put this on, deactivate this, we have 13. And then we turn this off, we have 12. And then without this, we have 10. So it's sort of like the Bastion module, you could say, overrides the auto-targeting system. So in that regard, it's not that good for getting a most amount of max lock targets. Only if we needed the max amount of lock targets when we are just cruising around in non-Bastion mode, but most of the time we probably want to go in Bastion mode here. I mean, that's the whole point of a Marauder anyway. Okay, open up this. Can I open it up, please? Nothing in here. 1 million? Pretty decent. I mean, considering the bounties on these battleships can often be like almost 1 million, it's nice to get some extra like million-isk from a ship because of the wrecks. So went very smoothly right there. I mean, we just really sat there, blasted away. It was very simple. So I was quite happy with how effective this golem felt, because the cruise missiles you just shoot anything anyway. Even though we have like obviously less DPS and torpedoes, I felt in some ways that it felt just smoother overall to use the cruise missiles because we were able to just shoot everything all the time. So we'll dock back up and go back into the mission hub. Something I could have done to these wrecks is salvage them. I personally can't really be bothered to do that. There's not a whole lot of ISK to get from salvaging. It's not the most amount of ISK you can get from that. I find that you get the most amount of ISK from the wrecks just by looting them. You can obviously do that to get like the full clear style, take full advantage of the mission, but I prefer to use that time I spent salvaging to do some other missions. You could probably use a salvage drones to get everything done while you are looting stuff, but it's a bit just too much management, and the effort is, in my opinion, not really worth it. We have a bit of a docking request denied going on because of the 1 minute weapons timer the Bastion module gives you. So 1 minute after you've finished using Bastion, you can't dock up, you can't use a start gate, you can't use a mobile depot either, actually. The mobile depot is a module that you can use to refit in space. You can't actually use it to refit straight away. You have to wait until that weapons time is finished. So it'll take 1 minute for you to potentially refit if you wanted to do after exiting Bastion. Something I previously thought that, oh, you could just exit Bastion and use the mobile depot. You have to wait 1 whole minute. So Gone Berserk done. Smooth mission indeed in the Police Golem. Really appreciate Threadnought for giving me this skin. And also an anti-gank golem. This is the focus here, trying to, use a really big buffer golem to get the missions done quickly. And it seemed like our tank was just a absolute brick right here, so I'm very happy with that. In the future, I think I want to try this more, perhaps with the cloaking device or some other kind of fit. I really like the concept of the hybrid tanks, especially in the golem. It seems quite interesting because it's not something that's commonly done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.